Hello everybody, Holly here, Holly Charles here, also known as Holistic Holly, to do the third episode of my Holistic and Spiritual Wellness series. This episode we are going to be diving deep into the spiritual anatomy, our spiritual anatomy, and so if this is something that interests you and intrigues you, please stick around. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know in the comments, perhaps hashtag replay, perhaps let me know where in the world that you're watching from. If any questions do arise throughout this video, stick them in the comments. Even if you're catching the replay or watching perhaps on YouTube, I will do my best to get back to any questions that you have and help you with you know, the knowledge that you seek. So hello, I can see people are jumping on. Thank you so much. Hello Robin, gorgeous. Please say hello as you're jumping on. So I know that you're here. Thank you so much, Robin. That is so kind of you. You beautiful human being. Sharon's here, Jill's here. Hello, I'm going to be hitting this new wave button that has been added to Facebook. Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing really well. Let me just close a few things down, make sure my phone's on silent so we don't get anything happening there. Fantastic. So how are you all doing? I hope that you're all really well. So for those of you who are new, who do not know me, gosh, loads of people are jumping on. This is awesome. So for those of you who are new, who do not know me, my name is Holly Charles, also known as Holistic Holly. My business, Holly's Holistic Healing, has been running open for 10 years now. Coming up, just about over 10 years, which is a really exciting thing. So I am a modern day mystic, a spiritual teacher. I am in fact a spiritual medium as well, and my background, my professional background and my business is in holistic and complementary therapies. I am trained in many modalities of healing, both holistic, mind, body and spirit, from all around the world, and it's something that has been a huge major part of my personal transformation, my healing journey, and it's definitely been a part of my life path that was essential. So as I have embraced the spiritual aspect of my path and become more open and honest about that, I've realized that my purpose is to relay information to people, to take everything, my knowledge, my experience, everything that I've learned, and break that down to be able to share it with others, to give them tools and tricks they can use on their journey to become empowered, to take ownership of their own healing, and to really align with themselves, the person that they were born to be, to shed everything that's keeping them from that and remember who they truly are. And I believe this video series is going to be very helpful in bringing all that information across to everyone. I can see people are jumping on. Hello everyone, I will jump back through the comments in a moment. So this is a huge thing, what I'm all about. Now, I am actually in the process of writing a book. The publishing deal is already organised, it's already set up, so I just need to get it finished. So a lot of what I am relaying across in these videos is a lot of what is going to be contained in the book. We are bringing spirituality and science together. So for those people that like a foot in both camps, like myself, I am a Gemini, and quite typically so. And so the book is bringing the spiritual, the holistic and the scientific to say this is so, and this shows you why, essentially. So I'm going to be bringing a lot of that in the video today. So hello, thank you so much everyone who's jumping on. Hello Philip, namaste. And we have so much beautiful wisdom. Inspirational, says Robin. Thank you. Good evening, Binky, beautiful Binky. Hello, Joanne. Lovely to have you on here. Hello, Jackie, a fellow holistic and complementary therapist who has been integral in my journey and my development and getting myself out here in front of the camera. So I'm so happy that you're here, Jackie, and bright blessings to you, my pagan sister. I hope that you're really well. So yeah, let me know any questions as they arise. So today, as I already mentioned at the intro of this video, I'm going to be talking a bit about the spiritual anatomy, our spiritual and energetic anatomy. Now, this is a huge, huge subject. So what I'm going to do is just try and break this down to make it as easy to understand as possible. Explain things quite simply and quite concisely. Obviously, these things, we can go into these in so much depth, and perhaps if later down the road you want me to do a specific video just on the chakras, just on the aura, just on the meridians, the nadis, the acupuncture system, and all of that kind of thing, I absolutely can. And so just let me know if that's something that you want, and I can do that. Also, again, there's so many ways that you can utilize this knowledge to work on your own stuff, to work on your own well-being, mind, body, and spirit. So that's something next week that I'm going to talk about. So I just want to, like the last couple of episodes, I've been talking about what holistic means, and why it's really important to understand how everything is interconnected. And I've touched on a few different things. Last week was really great as well. I've loved these last two sessions. I guess this is me in my zone of genius, as they call it, where it just flows. So I love that. I absolutely love that. So next week, what I'm going to be doing is talking about some tools, some tricks, some things that you can implement to start making use of these things straight away in your own life. Okay, so we'll talk more in depth about that next week. So we're going to dive in a moment to the stuff. Thank you, Philip. Thank you. Bright blessings to you, Jackie. Lovely. Now, I know there is a little bit of a delay between the comments and when I see them, so just to let you know that there is a bit of a delay. But if I miss any questions because I'm blabbering on, I will come back round. And I noticed last time I did a live stream that I didn't see some of the questions till afterwards. So if you have posted a question and it seems that I've missed it, stick it up again, because yeah, I've noticed sometimes that Facebook does that. It doesn't show all the questions as they're coming in. So yeah, I hope that works, and I hope I get to everyone's questions. So I'm just going to have a little bit of my drink. So I have made some notes to make sure I don't forget some of the things that I want to say. Last week I did really enjoy, because we talked about allopathic medicine, traditional Western medicine versus naturopathic medicine. And I think for a lot of people, perhaps not in this community, but that's quite a new concept. I find that a really, really nice avenue to explore. And so now we're going to be jumping into the spiritual energetic anatomy. And like I said, try and make it as simple as possible. So we are spiritual beings first and foremost. Okay, so it's an expression I use a lot. You've probably heard a lot on your path that we are souls with bodies, not bodies with souls. We are spiritual beings here having a temporary human experience, a temporary physical experience, and this is true. But we are more than just energetic beings. What precisely what we are is electromagnetic in nature. Okay, and so our energy systems, they are created there, we're in place before our physical body even grows. This is something that I've talked about recently. I can't remember where it was. It perhaps in my soul-centered sessions that I run on a Thursday. But our Meridian system, the energetic system that we have, the map, if you like, of the energy channels through the body, this has been shown to exist within mere moments of conception. So it's actually been shown now under a microscope that as soon as that egg is fertilized, there is a blast of photons, there is a blast of light that happens, and then our meridian system is formed, pretty much straight away. And I'll talk about what the meridian system and things is in a minute, but it's the channels of energy that flow through the body. And actually, that the map of the Meridian system is actually exists while creatures are still just a little glob of multiplying cells. So it's actually our Meridian system, it's our light body that actually informs the cells what they should become, because as we all know, on a physical level, every single cell we have has the full roadmap of the DNA. You know, it's said we live in a holographic universe, and that is a little bit about you know, what holographic means is that if you take one tiny piece, it has the whole, it becomes the whole again. So yeah, that to me is really intriguing and really an exciting concept, that it's our Meridian system, it's our energetic system that literally tells the physical body what to become and what to be, and you know, we'll go more into detail about that in a little while. But what I love is that there's so much science and there's so much experimenting going on now to talk about all of this stuff, which is really fascinating. So hello, lovely to have you on here. So let me rein it back in a minute, because I have gone on ahead as I usually do. So we're talking, first of all, I want to talk to you about the different layers of the energy body. Okay, so by that I mean we'll start with the meridians, because I've already mentioned that already. So, you know, if you need me to slow down, please say. If anything doesn't make sense or I'm not clear on anything, please say, because I do tend to run on ahead with these things sometimes. Okay, so no doubt some of you will have heard of the Meridian system before. It's like rivers of energy that flow through the body. Okay, so it's what is used in acupuncture, it's what is used in reflexology, it's what is used in Ayurvedic massage, Mama Bhyanga. It's basically, like I said, the roadmap, the energy flow, like the highway system of energy as it flows through the body. It is they are mapped out on the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. So this is how reflexology works. Reflexology, for those of you who don't know, is a way of treating the entire physical body and an energetic body through massaging with specific techniques the palms of the hands and, you know, predominantly, more commonly, the soles of the feet. And it's a way of treating physical areas without actually physically touching those areas, because of this system and the way that it works, the way they are mapped out. So the different meridians associated with the different elements, and they literally run through the entire body, you know, like I said, like rivers of energy, like highways of energy. Now there are millions and millions and millions of them. Hello Susan, hello Binky. Oh, what's Binky saying? Can you post a link or recommend some science stuff to look at? I'm very visual too, so seeing it will be super beneficial. Yeah, absolutely. I can indeed. I've got a book that I'm going to show you guys later, and there's other things that I can show you as well. I don't know if I've got... I got rid of a lot of my textbooks recently, the ones that show the channels. But yeah, I'll definitely put some pictures up. I'll definitely put some pictures and links up. I love Pinterest. You guys all know that. So Pinterest is a really good resource for looking for these charts and things like that as well. Okay, but I will share some books with you as I'm going along. Okay, so the Meridian system, the name the Meridian system actually comes from the Chinese medicine system, and there are so many overlaps. There's so many overlaps with the Ayurvedic system. The Ayurvedic system is the Indian medicine system. Okay, hey Jane, darling. Hello Emma. Hello. Thank you for being here. So in Ayurveda, they're called the nadis, and there are so many of these just everywhere in the body. Okay, and where these energy channels kind of well up to the surface, if you like, where there's points where this energy, like if you can imagine like a well where water's drawn up from the river, that's where we have acupressure points, acupuncture points, mama points. These are areas that are very sensitive, that through specific, you know, needles or massaging these certain points, these power points, we can treat the body. And when we have congestion in these channels, that's when we have manifestations of physical disease happening. Now, it's actually very interesting that disease in the body can be felt in the Meridian system before it actually manifests physically. I've experienced this myself treating clients. I've even experienced it myself having treatments and then things later manifesting. So it can be used as a preventative measure, which, you know, preventative medicine is absolutely what it's all about at the end of the day. And that's why we need to take care of our well-being. We need to, you know, be on top of our self-care, because prevention is better than cure, right? Okay, so you all with me? Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin says I have a lovely voice. That's very kind of you. Okay, so where there's like pools of this energy that comes close to the surface, that's where we have these acupuncture points, these acupressure points, and they are very, very beneficial to have knowledge of some of these as well for our own self-care practice, to know what areas that we can just gently massage or place essential oils or what have you to have maximum impact. Okay, and because the different channels are associated with the different elements, which are associated with different emotions, you know, by actually treating sometimes on a physical energetic level, we can help release the emotional as well, because everything is interlinked. It goes back and forth. Okay, now where these energy channels kind of mingle together, like crossroads, like spaghetti junctions, I guess is one way of kind of thinking about it. Wherever there's lots of crossovers, that's where we have our main chakras. And you know, we this is a word that people are hearing a lot these days. We have 7 major chakras in our body. Chakra is a Sanskrit word which essentially means spinning wheel, a vortex of energy. Now, I have something here that I dug out, which says that they've also been referred to centers that heal, which I think is a lovely way of looking at it. And by focusing on these centers, oh boy, can we do a lot of healing. If anyone was in my soul-centered group last week, we did a full chakra cleanse and reset, which was very, very profound. So, you know, I can link that in if anyone's interested in doing that. So these energy centers, as they're also called, they have an association with an endocrine gland specifically. They have both physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual effects. Okay, now there's I did jot down a couple of interesting things that I just wanted to make sure that I shared with you, because I knew that I would forget if I didn't write them down, and it's things that I definitely wanted to articulate to you. So in this book, which is the one that I was going to mention now, this is called Vibrational Medicine, the #1 handbook of subtle energy therapies. Okay, it's by Richard Gerber, MD. I will write these details down in the description box. Now, this is one of the best books I have ever come across on energetic medicine. Like it says, it is the #1 handbook, and it really is, but this is no light read. This is really heavy. Like, I don't know if anyone has ever tried to read any Stephen Hawking books, or, you know, like, it goes deep into the quantum physics. It's a lot of science. It's written from a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's just dense with information. Like there's no ease up on it. So it's no bedtime read. If you tried to read it, I think at bedtime you would need to read the same passage like 10 times over. It's a lot of information, but it is absolutely fantastic. It goes into so many scientific studies, so much evidence, and so much spiritual stuff as well. So he's actually a scientific doctor whose wife is a medium. He's a member of the Theosophical Society. Shout out to them. If anyone knows who they are, you know that this is the stuff. But yeah, it's really great. It goes into loads of detail, but like I said, it's really, really heavy. So just be aware of that. But so much information. And there was a quote in there from about the chakras that I wanted to share with you. And it says the chakras are somehow involved in taking in higher energies and transmitting them to utilize them within the human structure. So basically, that's another way, perhaps a different way than you may already, if you are a healer, be looking at these. As a way of actually taking that energy from the cosmos, bringing that energy in from the higher realms, the subtle realms, and like, you know, translating that into data that is used by the physical mechanisms of the body, if that makes sense. Oh, hello Julie darling, don't apologize for being late, that's absolutely fine. Lovely to have you on here. I'm so glad you're here. I know there's a few healers, a few therapists in the house, so if there's anything that I'm forgetting to throw in, please let me know. I know I'm sharing a lot of information here, guys. So yeah, don't forget, throw in any questions, okay? So the chakras. So the seven main ones that we talk about in the Western world. There are others as well, but the main seven that we focus on during healing are the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Okay, I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Robin. Thank you. So they are the seven main ones that we talk about in I guess in Western circles when we talk about energy, when we talk about healing, when we talk about you know, empowerment and all of that kind of stuff. So each of these chakras is associated with a physical system in the body. Thanks for all the hearts, Jane, my darling. So they're associated with an endocrine gland specifically. They're associated with a color. You know, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and they each have a specific tone, a vibrational frequency, a sound frequency. So if you're working with sound healing, which I recommend everyone does, if there's specific tones, there's specific mantras and affirmations that you can use to bring harmony back to these systems. Okay, working with color is very profound. I'm going to go more into this later, but working with that color will really strengthen and clear that chakra. When these energy centers become blocked, we can experience an emotional issue that is associated with that energy center. We can absolutely experience physical issues associated with this area, and you know, most of us do have blockages, and unless you're having regular cleansing, regular clearing, you're doing the work on yourself, you know, an imbalance in one can really ricochet up through the body, and it has an influence on the chakras above and below. And so you know, I really recommend good energetic hygiene practices when it comes to your energy centers. And you know, if there are particular issues that you're working through, particular limiting beliefs that you have, specific things that are holding you back in life, that are holding you back from being happy or from being authentic or what have you, you know, I really strongly urge you to dive into your awareness around these areas, because it is a really empowering thing and something that we can all work on within ourselves. You know, not needing to go and see a healer or a Reiki practitioner or a crystal healer or what have you. This is something that we can do for ourselves. We all have the power to heal ourselves, and so this is something that is really profound. And you know, in some extreme cases, like, yeah, you might have an issue that you need to go and see someone. You need to get a bit of extra help with unblocking. But for the most part, we can work on it ourselves through growing self-awareness, you know, through really diving in, through meditation, through journaling and all that, to find out, you know, what the deep-seated issues are around each of these things. But remember, you know, as we talked about in the whole everything is connected, the holistic well-being thing, you know, emotional issues that are not addressed will cause like a disharmonic vibration to be held within that area of the body. And when we have that for long periods of time, physical illness will manifest. Okay, so the majority, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb and actually say, like, in fact, nearly all of illnesses that we have are a result of an energetic imbalance in the body, caused by a past trauma, something that we're not willing to let go of emotionally, something, some really kind of painful self-talk that we keep piling on ourselves. We can even bring these vibrational frequencies forward through generations. So sometimes the physical diseases and illnesses we have are a result of something that happened to our mother or our mother's mother or even our father, and people say it's a hereditary illness, so like that vibration has come forward, yes, but through epigenetics we can, with practices, turn on and off certain aspects of our DNA. This is a proven thing. So just because and breast cancer is the common, or breast cancer runs in my family, I'm definitely gonna get it because it runs in my family. If you're saying that, you're reaffirming that, you're attracting that vibration, but also you're making yourself a victim of your DNA, which you have the power to change that. You have the power to change that, and that's proven. Go and check out anything Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden. There's so much, Joe Dispenza. Like, there's so many people now that are really, really getting really vocal about this, about the science, about the self-help, what you can do to really physically change your physiology through your own practices. So that's something to be very aware of, okay? That not everything that we carry belongs to us, but we absolutely have the power to change it. Okay, so let's have a look. Julie says, after my live meditation tonight, I did a drumming session for everyone at the end of the meditation. Fantastic. Sound is hugely healing, particularly drumming is very profound as well. Something I discovered recently is the impact that drumming has on detoxing heavy metals from our system. I know that sounds far out, but there's been some research kind of done along those lines. So if you know anyone who's suffering from diseases that are often associated with heavy metal toxicity, things like Parkinson's, MS, those kind of neurological things, they can be alleviated through listening to drumming music. Really, really profound. So definitely, I can put some links in here for people that is anyone interested in that. Binky says, I can highly recommend Holly to help with that clearing. A really powerful experience, helped me shift so much stuff. Yeah, we had a really good energy clearing session together, didn't we? That is something that I offer. And yeah, it's sometimes it is helpful to get someone in to help you with that. Yes, true, illnesses are caused by an energetic block. Yeah, absolutely. And Sharon says she bought a drum today. That is amazing. And I'm going kind of off piste, as I tend to do with these things. A lot of people are concerned at the moment about the effects of 5G and how one of the ways that we can minimize the harmful effects of 5G on our systems is by reducing our toxic load and reducing the amount of heavy metals that we have in our system. And so drumming is really, really helpful for that. Handpan drums are great. Yeah, amazing. I have a drum, it's over there actually, that I bought just before lockdown. It's something that I'd wanted for a very long time, and it's really, really beautiful. So watch this space for more videos of me drumming and singing for you guys. I went off piste and I've lost my trail of thought. Let me have a drink. So we were talking about the chakras, right, and blockages, and I mentioned epigenetics. So that's definitely something to look into if there are kind of hereditary issues in your family that perhaps you're concerned about. Go and check out epigenetics, because that is a really, really fascinating subject, and it's very empowering to know as well. Like, how are we doing for time? Oh, amazing. Cool. Okay, so I've talked about the meridians, I've talked about the chakras. Now, why don't we talk about the aura a little bit? So I'm not going to go massive into this, and I know I haven't gone into detail in each of the chakras, But, you know, if you have any specific questions, lay them on me and I can share that information with you. I think I am going to do a specific video all about the chakras because it's so profound. That awareness is so profound, what it can do for you. So I will go into that. So now we're going to talk about the aura and the different layers of the aura. Okay, so different people kind of have different schools of thought, different levels of understanding. You know, myself, I've been taught a few different truths. When I did my Reiki level 1, level 2, I was taught, you know, some information. Then I went and did my spiritual healing certification, which took a lot longer. It was a lot more in depth, and they said slightly different things. So, you know, take what resonates with you. Absolutely take what resonates with you, and and leave the rest. Go and do your own research or what have you. But you know, they say we have 7 energetic bodies. Okay, so we start at the physical, which is the physical manifestation of our energy, of our energetic bodies. Okay, and from our physical we move outward to the etheric realm. Okay, now I've made notes about these because I didn't want to leave anything out. Okay, so so this is where we hold the energy about our physical health and how things are manifesting. It's associated with the root, so this is like it's the closest one to the physical body, a couple of inches out. Okay, then we have our emotional body. This is where we store all our emotions. This is often the layer that is photographed using Kirlian photography, aura photographs. And I'm sure if there's anyone in the group that does aura photographs, they'll probably correct me on all of this, but just to go through that. So we've got the etheric realm. Then we have our emotional body. I've already got to that, where our emotions can be felt, where other people's emotions can be felt as well. Then we move to the mental body, where this is where our thoughts and our thought forms that are created can sit. And this is where people who are psychics, this is where you can see perhaps the shapes around people. You can see their thought forms around them. Things can sit heavy in this layer. You know, if there is a difference between being a psychic and being a spiritual medium. And, you know, I've talked about that. Hello, gorgeous Janine. So good to have you, darling. Hello. Yeah, I can talk about that in another video. I have got some videos planned talking about all the psychic senses and psychic awareness and spiritual faculties and all of that kind of stuff. So let me know if you want to know about that, and I can bring it forward. Because each of the energy centers also has an associated psychic ability, clear ability, they call them. So clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and all of that. So there's one of those for each of the chakras as well, but that's something for another day. But you can actually, so people who are psychic can actually see this around people, and they can see people's thought forms. They can see what they're creating with the power of their mind. And so this sits in the mental layer of our energy body. Okay, our mental layer of our aura. Okay, and so these all go kind of a couple of inches each, and they start getting bigger as we move out. Hello, hi Michelle, darling. Don't worry about being late either. Janine. It's lovely to have you both here. Soul family in the house. So from the mental body, we then move to the astral body. Now, this is also known as the bridge layer, which bridges the physical and spiritual realms. So it is our astral body that we project outwards when we go astral traveling. It's our astral body that when we have lucid dreams, goes off and travels the realms. And so this is the bridge between heaven and earth. And this is associated with our heart chakra, which is also the bridge between heaven and earth and bringing those energies in. So I think that's really, really beautiful. Next, then we have the Etheric Template, which is the blueprint of all the aspects of the physical world and the spiritual realm. So it's quite complicated to kind of explain what that means, but again, being in that holographic universe, this is the layer that takes that communication out to the heavens of what's happening here. Then we have the celestial body, which is what connects us to the divine. Then we have the causal body, which is the soul's blueprint, our life purpose, our life path blueprint. And then we have the causal body, which holds everything together, like this beautiful, as I like to call it, like this plasma sheath around the outside of our aura, like the skin around the outside. Okay, and it is plasma technically. And this is kind of made up of golden threads that connects us to spirit and to the divine and everything like that. So how does that sound? Does that make sense? Robin says she has lucid dreams. Not at all surprised, my sensitive little one. Janine says, I've discovered I can see aura colours. I'm not at all surprised about that either. This is something that can happen more and more. Some people have the ability to see auras quite naturally, particularly in a healing session. These kind of things can start to awaken. It really, really helps actually. Like here I have like quite a clear background. I've actually done workshops on this with people, helping them develop their ability to see auras. There's a lady in this group, I don't know if she's going to be watching it, Ruth does... I've done a few things with Ruth as well. She's a Reiki master, and she says, and as a lot of people do, if you've got a light background behind, is much, much easier, and you can train your eye to see the layers of the aura. Now, the ones people tend to see are the ones that are closer to the body, and if you kind of do that thing, like, do you remember... I don't know if they're still a thing these days, but do you remember those magic eye books that you'd have to make your eyes go all funny to be able to see a picture that was like hidden in all the patterns? It's kind of like doing that. Like if you soften your gaze and kind of move it to the side so you're more looking out of your peripheral vision, that's when sometimes it's easier for people to start to see just like a little ways out. And you can start to feel the energy, and sometimes you can see it if you kind of just rub your hands together and just hold them like a few inches apart. I mean, I've got different levels of experiences, but sit there now and practice and see if you can just start to feel the energy without touching your hands of the energy around. And when you start to feel that, it'll feel a bit spongy, I guess, and you'll feel a little bit of resistance. So bring them out, and as you try and bring them back together again, you'll start to feel a little bit of resistance between each of the layers. Let me know if you start feeling it, guys. But it'll feel a little spongy. You might start to feel like a little bit staticky, like a little bit of a prickliness. And as you move out, you can start to move around. It's a fun activity to do with others as well. I remember I first discovered this phenomena when I was actually at school. My best friend at the time, her mum had taken her and I to the card. It used to be in the Students' Union in Cardiff, the Natural Health show, and her mum, I must have been about 11 or 12, and she took us to see this guy talking about the chakras. And because we were kids and we were there, he was just like, these are the ones that we need to talk to about this, these are the ones that we need to tell about this. And so he did like a little chakra reading on me at that time, like got me up in front of everyone, did a little bit of a chakra reading on me, and he talked about how you can feel the energy, you can sense the energy, and you can build it up to send it to people. And so I remember being about that age, standing in the corner of the playground in school, like doing that, and freaking people out because of the static energy that you can feel when you start to do that. So that was good fun. And I've only just really kind of, as we're talking, kind of really remembered that happening. So that that explains a lot of how I've ended up here, really. So yeah, I love that people are chatting amongst themselves. That's amazing. Janine said that she saw someone's aura when we were doing a tea and tarot workshop. Janine says, yes, that's how I do it. Amazing. So yeah. So that's where were we? We were talking about the aura, yeah. So we can experience damage in our auric field, sending cheeples. Yeah, amazing. I love that. We can get rips, tears, nicks in the layers of our aura. It can happen through trauma. It can happen through you know, as I've talked about, that kind of self-torture where we really just are so cruel to ourselves, our self-talk, the way we think about ourselves and things like that, that can damage it. Our thoughts are very, very powerful, very, very powerful. And even the thoughts of others are very, very powerful as well. Hey Joe, honey. So... I've talked about this at length with a few of you I know. One of the people who ran the church where it's a Christian spiritualist church. I'm just saying I'm not a Christian spiritualist, by the way, just putting that out there. But it was a Christian spiritualist church where I developed my mediumship. It's where I learned to be a spiritual healer as well, and I did a lot of work there, like over a period of a decade, longer. I was there like a lot and one of the guys who ran the church there, actually the minister there, some of you in this group know who he is. He was involved in a lot of psychic research that was happening during the 70s in Germany, I believe. And he told me once about a lot of experiments that they had been doing into the aura and effects of energy on the aura. And they did an experiment where they would have two people would be involved. One person would be set up in front of these kind of aura photographing equipment, Kirlian cameras and all of that kind of stuff, and then they'd have a person down the other end of the corridor being told to focus on sending the person in front of the apparatus hateful thoughts, negative thoughts, things like I'm going to kill you, I want to hurt you, all of that kind of stuff. So he's, you know, thinking all this angry, aggressive thoughts in one room about this man down the other end of the corridor. And actually what they saw in the photographs was actually the shape of knives coming in through the layers of the aura. So people, this is why we need to be so careful with our words, careful with our thoughts. We need to be responsible. This is why gossip can be very damaging. This is why, you know, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. This is why we shouldn't be gossiping about people. We should be very, very responsible with our energy, not because of what we manifest and not just because what we put out comes back to us through the law of karma, but we literally can be physically damaging somebody by gossiping about them, by talking about them, by saying bad things about them. Okay, so we need to be very, very aware of this. So if we have got people, you know, sending, you know, talking negatively about us behind our back, slagging us off, if we've got people saying hurtful things, damaging things, or if people have got a grudge against us, you know, they can very, very physically and tangibly be having an effect on our auric field and on our energy. So tears and things can happen. We can, you know, through our energy absorb through our auric field rather, can absorb the energy of those around us. That's why, you know, when our auras can overlap with someone, and perhaps we're sitting next to them on the bus, or it's someone that we share a house with, if they're in a bad mood, if they are feeling low, if they're angry or annoyed, we can take on that emotion. And I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that they've experienced that. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up if you've experienced that. When you walk in a room, you can feel the energy, and when you're sitting next to someone, or you've been in contact with someone that you know is having a very low, very bad time, you can feel some of their emotions. Let me know if that's you, and you can attest to that. Because so we can absorb the energy of others as well. So sometimes there can be low vibrational, stagnant energy just hanging around, just kind of hanging around, fogging up in our energy space. Lots of hearts coming in, people agreeing with me, thank you so much. So again, going back to what I mentioned earlier about energetic hygiene and why it's important to cleanse this, so we're not carrying around these thought forms, these energies, these attachments. You know, we're not being bogged down by what doesn't belong to us. And that may be a very, very new concept to a lot of you. And so, you know, any of you who come to my soul-centered sessions, any of you that know I'm all about energetic clearing, energetic protection, because this is something that's so important. And we do energy clearing, if anyone's interested in knowing how to do that and what to do, every week in my soul-centered sessions. And there's also a free guided meditation that walks you through the steps in about 9 minutes that you can easily cut down through practice, and it's available for free to download from my website, hollysHolisticHealing.co.uk. I've got people that message me, say that they do it every day and it's making such a huge difference to their lives, to their anxiety, to their energy levels, to their emotional state. So definitely go check that out if it's something that you are interested in. Okay, so Philip says, hey Philip, is it true that our auras can be out from our bodies a few millimeters and out a lot further as well? Yeah. Now, this is interesting, and very, very interesting question. When you meditate a lot, when you kind of astral travel and astral project a lot, when you actually practice cultivating and expanding your energy, I know that there's been spiritual gurus and masters that their energy has been reported to have spread out for like 5 miles because of the expansion work that they've done. And when you when you work with spirit, a channel for spirit or what have you, when you do a lot of that higher vibrational work, one of the exercises that you do is I like the phrase that is used to describe it as opening up. So what you do is you expand and open out your chakras, which then expands your energy field and aura outwards. And this is what helps you to bring that divine light down. This is what helps you raise your frequency. So then the entities, the beings, the souls that occupy the higher realms of frequency, they bring their energy down, and as we bring our energy up, that's where we have this ground where we can communicate with one another. Okay, so you can definitely expand your aura and send it outwards. Normally I would say it's about 2 to 3 feet. 2 to 3, like an egg. I know you can't see me, but like you have this egg of about 2 to 3 feet around the body. We have more than 7 chakras. They travel up the upper ways, and then we have our Earth Star, which is down in the earth. So it's literally around us like an egg. But yeah, it's normally about 2 to 3 feet. But each layer is probably about 2 to 3 inches. As you go through, but obviously different in different people, depending if that level is more contracted and restricted, depending on what your emotionally your state is, mentally what your state is, if you're well, or if you're if you have got some severe imbalances. It's a very, very individual thing. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question, Phil. Michelle says, how do we heal our auras from other people? I feel and know when people are not saying good things about myself. Right, well, protection. First 3 rules of that, I would say. To heal the aura, it's about intention. Perhaps going to see someone who specializes in that kind of thing. I know, Michelle, you and I have talked about cord cutting a lot. That's really important, because often we can be connected to other people through soul contracts, through other things. I can do a video about soul contracts another day if you guys like. Through these commitments that we've made. And so even though, we might be going, I'm clearing that energy, I'm doing the healing work within me, but we still have this attachment to them where there is still this energy transference. And sometimes that can be like past life contracts that we bring through, or, what have you. So doing that cord cutting, I think, is really important. If you're aware of who it is that's sending stuff to you, that energetic protection, putting those, what I always say, if there's someone talking smack about you, put a protection around you that's like a mirror, okay, and return that to sender, but with consciousness attached, okay. So they will get that energy back to themselves, but with a bit of awareness, hopefully, if they're receptive to that. But putting that you know, or if you don't want to return it to sender, you know, if you have compassion and understanding for that person, and you know that they're just where they are on their journey of evolution, you know, because it is so true, the way people, what people say, the way people behave, it's so much about what's happening internally for them, and the what they're trying to work through in their lives, even if they can't name that, even if they're not aware of it, they're all on their own journey. So what I tend to do is just say, you know, put that protection around so it can't get through, but then have it go with intention to somewhere where it can be, you know, cleared, transmuted, or to wherever it'll be beneficial, and that will send that away to protect you from that. But in terms of healing, healing those tears, healing those rips, simply in meditation, you know, asking your spirit team, asking the archangels, asking you know, asking for people to step forward and heal those wounds, to sew those up. I know a really good visual that I have implemented in some of the soul-centered sessions that we do is actually physically seeing those tears, those rips being sewn and then smoothed over. So it's like the scar, the rip, the tear was never there in the first place. But if you have got rips and tears in your aura and then you're not aware of it, this is sometimes why our energy is always depleted. No matter what we do, we can't raise our vibration. We're doing the work to raise it, but it just seems to disappear and dissipate elsewhere. Okay, where, you know, and you know, it can happen as well through spiritual attachments. You know, entities, energies attaching themselves to us. This is more common than people realize as well. But you know, that might be a conversation for another day. But a lot of cleansing and clearing would be really, really helpful around that. And just you know, the intention and requesting that those things be healed and sealed. There's certain crystals that you can use as well that are really, really good specifically for those things. Working with I'm sure there's specific essential oils that would have that function when used with intention as well. Jess is here. Hello, Jess. How are you, my darling? So good to have you on here. Another soul sister in the house. Amazing. So let me just check I haven't missed anything. Thank you for all the hearts, Susan. Jackie says, yes, I feel the different energies from people and in buildings. Yeah, absolutely. Buildings hold that vibration. Oh my days, do they? Okay, Janine says, it's incredible. Auric irrigation. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. Michelle says, I do your protection meditation every day after yoga. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hello, Helen Fox. The wife's in the house, guys. Give us some love, everyone. Philip says, thank you, amazing. I'm glad that I answered that for you. Hey, Kai, brother, how are you doing? Michelle says, yes, that makes sense. Yes, I know who it is. I will do the cord cutting and send them love. If you know someone is talking and saying bad things about you, and you know, like I already mentioned, they're at a different place in the revolutionary journey, right? They're at a different level of consciousness, a different level of karmic understanding. So send them love. And sometimes that's really hard, but it's amazing how freeing and liberating compassion, love and forgiveness truly are. So yeah, right. Janine says, Raphael. Yeah, call in Raphael. Michelle says, yes, that makes sense. Yes, I know who it is. I'll do the cord cutting. Yeah, amazing. I read that one already, didn't I? Angels helping me massively lately. Yes, they have been upping their influence profoundly. Binky said, I had that experience with you at Dawn's Healing Light. So profound. Yeah, you came into my mind then, Bink. Really profound. It's amazing. Intention, visualization, and sometimes you do need someone to talk you through it if you're new to all this stuff. So, you know, come and check out my soul-centered sessions if you haven't already. you know, watching any of the replays. Someone asked me in a video stream I did the other day, you know, do they have to be done in any kind of specific order, or are they specific, you know, for a certain time? Just see what one you're drawn to. I am in the process of kind of downloading them off Facebook to kind of create as like a podcast thing, so people can just plug in and listen. But all very, very valuable, very, very helpful. Also, you know, Insight Timer. I talk about Insight Timer a lot. That's a free meditation app that's loaded with really good stuff. And YouTube as well. You know, the only thing I have about finding meditations on YouTube is just there's so many. And you know, I'm a bit funny. If I'm listening to a guided meditation, I've really got to like the person's voice. And I've found, I don't know whether it's because I do them myself as well, I've started to do a few on YouTube, and I've just found them like a bit frustrating, and I haven't been able to get into the place that I would like to get into. So I tend to just write my own and go with the narrative. But I do find, going back to what we said earlier about drumming, I do find drumming one of the most beneficial things to help propel that narrative forward. If you are, you know, trying to work on a specific thing, you know, drumming music is really, really powerful. And there's different sound frequencies that you can work with. Again, you know, I'm kind of going off a tangent, but yeah. Okay. I love that. Thank you, Jess. Susan says, should you protect yourself every day and night, please, Holly? I would say every day. Yeah, everyone should, particularly at this time. Particularly now, because of the energy being so heavy in the collective. There's a lot of really dense vibrations flying around, and so I would recommend daily energy protection, definitely daily cleansing. You know, we talked about this in my Zoom group on Monday, how, you know, even if you just go, those people that are particularly sensitive, and I think there's a lot more people that are more sensitive than they realize, you know, if you're not doing that reconnecting and cleansing daily, you soon start to feel that frustration, that irritation, that anger, and that fear that's coming in from everywhere around us right now. So definitely at the moment, I think, yes, protection and clearing every day. Okay, Michelle says Janine's angel prayers really help. Yeah, absolutely. They are from Kyle Gray's book on angels. Gotta love Kyle Gray. And I've met him actually. I met him a few years ago at an event he did in Miskin Manor here in South Wales, and I was chatting away to him afterwards, and yeah, he's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy. He's seen angels from a very, very young age, so he knows them intimately, and he's written many books on connecting with them. There's a really good one, Angel Prayers, which is all about the different prayers to the different angels that you can use. But again, you know, you don't need the books. It's not it doesn't have to be a formal thing. You know, I've got a podcast episode that you can stream and download for free off my website, a little plug there, where I talked about prayer. And prayer, it doesn't have to be a formal thing. Remember, these angels, these protectors, these ancestors and spirit guides, these entities, these energies, these beings, they've known us our whole lives. They've walked with us for perhaps lifetimes. They are loved ones. They are family to us. So it doesn't have to be this, oh, please, angels, if you don't mind, could you come and assist me, blah, blah. It's like, hey guys, I love you and I'm so grateful for everything that you're doing for me, but at the moment I'm really struggling with A, B, or C. Could you please assist in, you know, helping me feel strong, raising my vibration, you know, finding the words I need to say, you know, inspire me to the course of action that will be most beneficial to help me at this specific time. Like, if you find trouble articulating that, write it down, because that's something that it's really, really powerful to write your own prayers, and to write things down, really, really profound. So Binky says it was amazing. I think it was my first big meditation cry release. Love the group, so supportive, amazing. Amazing group of people. Yeah, you all are. I'm so lucky to have you in my soul gang, my spirit gang. It's lush to have you. So Sharon says, how do I cleanse, please? Right, let's just see. I'm going to come to that in a moment, Sharon. It is on my list. I know I've done a little tangent here, so I'm going to jump in quickly to just some other things that can affect us. I'm going to talk about some external influences. Okay, so we can be affected astrologically, what's going on in the heavens, as above so below, my friends, as within so without, and as without so within. So that has a big impact on what's going on down here on a physical level, depending on what phase the moon is in the chart. Each astrological sign has a physical association. Okay, and a lot of people notice they have more acute pain in certain areas, or perhaps a headache during certain times, and this is often because where the moon sits in the astrological chart. There's a really good book on that I'm reading at the moment. Tarot cards collapsing everywhere. It's called Moon Time. I know Jane has got it because I mentioned it in a video a little while ago. This book here, Moon Time. The art of harmony in nature with the lunar cycles. This goes into that in great depth about how the phases of the moon have a massive influence on us physically as well as emotionally. So that's a really good book to look into. Solar flares. Solar flares have a massive impact on us. A lot of people get headaches. A lot of people get erratic. A lot of crazy stuff happens when there's solar flares going on. So that's just something to be aware of. I've talked about energy from the collective, other physical, non-physical things. So we've talked about that. So, but yeah, so yeah, Jane says it's awesome. So much information. Yeah, it really is really good. Okay, so cleansing, energy cleansing. Super simple. There's really simple ways of doing that. Okay, so water is very cleansing. So like having a shower, imagining that water cleansing any negativity away, watching that drain down the plug hole. Salt baths. Salt is very cleansing. They use it in all those like supernatural programs because they know that that's a cleanser and a protector. So having a salt bath is really a profound way of doing that, because it really like cleanses, transmute the energy. That's why salt lamps are really good. Having a lot of salt lamps in your home is very good at cleansing the energy around you and cleaning the air as well. So salt lamps are an absolute must. I think if you have funds to invest in one, I really highly recommend it. And they have a multitude of other benefits as well, which I won't go into here because we're talking about energy clearing. Essential oils, they can be very good at cleansing. There's certain sprays, aura cleansing sprays that you can buy. I have one that I have bought from Christina Pandolfo, and I've forgotten the name of her apothecary, but if any of you, I know some of you know Christina, if you can think of the name, it's Luna Domini Apothecary, I think. I'll link her page because she's amazing. Yeah, good. I have your salt lamp on. That's really good. So that's really cleansing. Imagining or asking for a white light to wash over you, that's very cleansing as well. And there are breathing exercises that you can do to really to really raise the vibration and cleanse that energy as well. Intention is most of the way there. Okay, you know, and you can, there's herbs you can burn. You know, white sage is the most common. Palo Santo is another. There's a lot of things that we have locally. Rosemary is a very good one to burn. Lavender is a very good one to burn. You can actually make smudge bundles from herbs that you can grow in your own garden as well, which is a really nice way of doing it. But there's lots of herbs and things that you can use. So that can be done as well. So I know Sharon, that you've tried some of my soul-centered meditation sessions, but if you haven't already, go check out that meditation that I have on my website, because that is like a wham bam thank you man, ground cleanse, clear and protect. So that works a treat. So how can we reharmonize these energetic systems? You know, we've talked about how blockages manifest in the physical body, and you know how they can come about through limiting self-talk, through traumas that happen to us from reliving the same things over and over again in our head, not speaking our truth, not, you know, acting against what our intuition is telling us. These are the things that can block it, block these different centers, these different things. And so ways that you can reharmonize, we've talked about sound, we've talked about that, we've talked about understanding what's happening internally through journaling. That is huge. Self-awareness is everything, and becoming that master of self. So being aware when these things arise, being aware about what's going on within you, and understanding why you think the way you think, why emotions are triggered when they're triggered, and really, you know, diving within. Perhaps if there's a particular physical ailment you have, you know, meditate on that, meditate on the source of that, you know, journal on, you know, when it started to manifest, what are your emotions around that subject. Janine says EFT is great for clearing negative beliefs. Absolutely. You know, once you're aware of what the issue is, there's some really great techniques that you can use, like EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is tapping those meridians that we talked about, using positive affirmations, which we kind of touched on when we were talking about the chakra system. So they're really that's really beneficial. There are other tools and techniques that you can use that are really beneficial as well. So I've written a load of things that I just wanted to fly through to help you reharmonize. So yoga is a great exercise in self-awareness, self-care, harmonizing the energies of the body. You know, the thing is, yoga is the sister science of Ayurveda, which is that ancient medicine system and wise living tradition of India. And sorry, a message just popped up and I got distracted from what I'm saying. So there's the movements of yoga and the breathing, the pranayama that comes with yoga. This stretches out and opens out these energy flows, these channels through the body, and that can really create some unblocking and unlocking within the body, because our emotions are also stored within the physical body. So if you have, you know, tightness in your back, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your hips, in your knees, these all have an emotional association. So for example, hips, painful hips, tight hips, it can often be related to mother issues, emotions around that, and trauma around that. And so by you know, doing a lot of hip opening exercises and working on that, it can really help you emotionally as well. So doing yoga is a really good one. You know, using sound, I've mentioned vibrational frequency of sound, so powerful. Singing bowls, gongs, sound baths, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats. These are all ways that you can utilize sound healing. Very, very, very profound. There are, you know, holistic and complementary therapies are all based around working on this. I know at the moment, you know, we can't really get out to people, but there are things that you can work on within yourself to integrate those things in. One of my favorite things to do is actually combine reflexology with yoga. Obviously not for others, but when I'm doing yoga myself, I integrate some of these other modalities, you know, that I've built up over time. So so there's some of the things. Now, batch flower remedies and homeopathy are very, very powerful, and there's something I wanted to say about that as well. Homeopathy and Bach remedies deliver a quantum dose of electromagnetic energy to neutralize disruptions in a person's etheric and astral anatomy. So that's something that I wrote down from this book, the Vibrational Medicine book. And so that's how batch remedies work. That's how homeopathy works, is that it's like a micro dose of that electromagnetic vibration that helps your frequency reharmonize itself. And so you can get some of those for specific physical ailments, yes, but flower remedies specifically for different emotions. So if there is a specific emotion that you struggle with, there is a flower remedy for that. And I am a huge advocate of rescue remedy, which is like a bit of a combination of a few different ones to help ease stress, anxiety, and all of that kind of stuff. You can get that. That's quite a widespread thing now. You can get those in most pharmacies. You can even get it in some supermarkets. I've seen them in Tesco's, where the multivitamins and everything are kept. You can get pastels, lozenges, even chewing gum. You can get it as a spray now, or the traditional like drops on the tongue. But they are really, really powerful. So guys, if you're struggling with anxiety or unease at the moment, that is one of my, my big recommendations to add into your regime, your wellness regime. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Not a nutshell at all. It's quite in depth what we've covered tonight. I can see some people jumping on in some comments. So yes, let's have a look. Jay Dean's here, Jenny's here. Yo, hey, sorry I'm late. Workshops class. No worries at all. Elliot's in the house. All right, guys. Thought I'd say hello. Popping in and out. Speak to you all at meditation tomorrow. What's up, Elliot? Yeah, no worries, love. We're wrapping it up anyway. Jess says, I really love the tree remedies. Yeah, they're profound. I've got crystal tinctures, which are quite similar. Crystals, of course, you can use to reharmonize the body. And because they have their own vibrational frequency, which when you bring that into your energy field and your energy frequency, it helps you to harmonize. Like I said, I'm a huge advocate of sound healing. That was something that I talked about a week or so ago. In ancient Egypt, they were huge advocates of sound healing. They had whole chambers dedicated to that. It's a modality that's very much coming back in. A lot of the the star seeds that are incarnating now on this planet, there's a lot of Palladians, Lemurians, a lot of people from those ancient civilizations coming back in, bringing knowledge of those healing modalities and those healing systems that they used in those times. And so they are really coming back in force. I know there's a lot of people channeled information to say that it's over the next year or two, sound healing is going to come back in force massively. So that's something to really, really start growing an awareness of. I am going to share a link to that interview where I mentioned about the sound and light healing, especially the one that I mentioned about the drumming helping to relieve toxic build-up from heavy metals and things like that, is really, really helpful. If you know anyone who works with people with autism or has an autistic member of their family, sound and light healing is especially beneficial for their sensitive systems. And so it's gentle, but it's profound, very, very much so. So working with those energies, with people with conditions like autism, it really helps to settle and bring harmony to those people. There are sound and light pods being used now, and non-vocal autistic children have gone in, and they have come out chatting and hugging and touching. And for people who are connected with people with autism, they know that you know that there's blocks to touch and tactile connection, and so yeah, to come out of those experiences, speaking and what have you, it's profound, and it shows how profound that actually is. Like, that's a big deal. I've worked with people with autism, with my practice, my holistic therapies practice, and people that are non-verbal and what have you, and knowing what I know a few years later about the different types of vibrational healing, and I wish I'd known it then, and I would have incorporated a lot more into those sessions than I did at the time. But but we evolve as we go forward on our journey. You're so welcome. Hello, Emma. Hello, darling. You're welcome. Egyptian music is beautiful. Hello. It's so nice to have so many people on here tonight. So many like-minded souls. This is absolutely wonderful. I'm loving every minute of this. 17 people on the live stream. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Jenny says, have you heard about the plants who make music? I have, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Recommend you go check that out. And there was a video going around a little while ago about the sound of crickets, and the sound of crickets slowed right down. That is one of the most beautiful, like, goosebump inducing things I've ever heard in my life. It's absolutely stunning, so check that out if you get the chance to. Robin says, has anyone else noticed how beautiful the moon has been this past week? Yes, I have indeed. It's bright, it's beautiful. I'm going to go out there after I finish this session. Actually, I wonder if that's because the nights are clearer, because there's less pollution. I don't know, but it has been extraordinary. It has been. Jenny says, damn on her. What's that, babe? I know that word and I can't place it. So that is what I wanted to cover tonight, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed the session. If you have and you feel that you've got a lot from it, you can tip me through my PayPal tip jar. But as a lot of you know, and as a lot of you here have already become a part of, you can now help support me through Patreon. So thank you to all my Patreon family members who are here tonight as well. But Patreon is a service where through monthly donations you actually get exclusive content and guidance, coming straight at you throughout the month, that is exclusive for Patreon family members. Away from this, you can help support me with the content that I create, even have input on what I'm creating, to help get this message out to the world. And so if you think that this is something that you can get behind, that you want to support, and to help me get this information out there to people, then I will put a link to my Patreon if you would like to sign up. Membership starts at $5.55 a month. So yeah, I would love to have you come and join us. Jay Dean says, the moon is wiping me out. Get hydrated, babe. Get hydrated. That'll really, really help you. Hey, Claire, my darling. Jenny says, it's a place with an underground replica of the world history, and that's where they experiment with the plants. Ah, right, okay. Michelle says, lovely lots. You're welcome. So enjoying this series so very much. So next week, where's my notebook gone? It's right in front of me. So next week, I'm going to be talking a bit more about holistic therapies, Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation, but I'm going to be focusing in on giving you tools that you can use to put all of this information that I've shared in the last 3 weeks into your practices, okay? Robin says, I have found the moon so energizing, felt bathed in the moonlight every night as the light comes down on me in bed. Yeah, it can have different effects on different people. It is a beautiful energy though. Really, really beautiful. We got the full moon on Friday this week. For anyone who's watching this during live, or soon after recording, we have a full moon eclipse on Friday, so be prepared for some bonkers stuff going down, some crazy energies coming in, an incredible opportunity for cleanse and release. So I'm going to be talking more about that tomorrow during our soul centered session. For all my Patreons in the Golden Soul Star tiers, we're going to be doing a live ceremony and meditation on Friday to harness the energy. So glad I caught you tonight, Jenny. Yay. And also on Friday, so after the ritual and the meditation at 9:30 on Friday night, I am getting interviewed by the Social Critic live on his Facebook page. If anyone wants to tune in to that, we're going to be talking about healing during times of civil unrest, which is exactly what we're going through right now in the world. So if you find that interesting, that subject interesting, come over and check that out. I will be posting links and things to his page. Gigi says, hey beautiful, oh Holly, I only just joined you at the end. I just heard the tail end of your autism chat but missed what the therapy was. You are such a beauty, Holly. So lovely to see you. Hope to tune in again, neighbour. Yeah, neighbour. So I wasn't talking about when I was talking about the autism, it wasn't any therapy particularly, though there are some sound and light therapies now that are coming forward that combining the two, but it's sound therapy, light therapy, and energetic healing. They're the three that are working really, really well. What I will do, Gigi, is I'm going to put a link to an interview with someone from the Gaia streaming site that I watched. Shout out to any Regina Meredith fans in the house. Open Minds is my favorite series on Gaia, and she has the most fascinating, interesting guests on that. She is so well read, she's so articulate, she's so knowledgeable in herself, and she just asks the greatest questions. She has the greatest guests. Huge inspiration. I really, really, really hope that I can get on that show one day and just gush my love for her. But it's an interview that she did with a lady who has got these sound and light healing pods in America, and they are very much it's something that it's knowledge that she's brought forward from a past life and a few past lives actually, that she's been doing the same things. And so she left quite a corporate job, like I think she was an engineer or something like that, and she was receiving these downloads of this information about sound healing, and she went and trained in a few things, and then she started channeling these plans for these wooden sound chambers. And she is using those to really profoundly help people with all manner of health conditions, and like profound, like healing people's eyesight, and I mentioned earlier about the drumming, and there was a gentleman that with Parkinson's, that his tremors stopped, and then when he stopped having the sessions they started again, so he now goes and has top-ups with her, and that's through using drumming music in the pod, and different colors. I'm going to talk more about color therapy again, but we talked about the different colors of the chakras and things earlier. By working with light, working with color, wearing colors, being surrounded by colors of that particular chakra that you need to unblock, or physical energy, that vibration helps to strengthen and harmonize the frequency that you're emitting. So color therapy is a really, really profound thing as well. The color of your bedding, perhaps, or wearing a scarf of that color, it really is profound. So definitely something worth exploring, because like I said, there's more and more of this going to be coming to people's awareness now, and it's going to be something that's going to be used because it's so profound and it's not invasive, and it doesn't cost anything to use these colors and things in your own day to day. So everything is black for you, Robin. Well, try wearing some coloured vests under those black clothes, my darling, or like coloured bed sheets, or putting a coloured scarf over a light that's not going to catch fire. Safety first. To get that colour, getting coloured light bulbs. You can get different coloured light bulbs, light boxes. So yeah, that's really profound. Nostar, Binky, lovely to have you on here, darling. So has anyone else got any questions before I jump off? Anything else you want to add? Any questions you want me to answer before I go? I love these sessions, by the way, and I think we are going to be doing them in the evenings from now on. coloured light bulbs, yeah, amazing. Yeah, and you know, everything is frequency. Everything is frequency. So if colour doesn't resonate with you and using colour, use sound. Use sound. I'll share some information about the different notes for the different things. You know, and I think I will talk about sound a lot more, because it's amazing how I'm really into music. Not a lot of people know I actually studied music in university. Before I trained to be a therapist, I studied popular music in university. And you know, so the history of music and the evolution of music is something, you know, how styles evolve from one into another and all of that. Like, I really, it's just something that I love. I adore music in all its forms, creating it and listening to it, and my musical taste is so eclectic. But it's interesting how the different kind of groups of chords are popular as music changes through the decades. And so and different, you know, different chords, you know, whether they're major or minor or what have you, you know, major keys tend to be bright and happy and quite harmonious, but minor chords, they have more of like a disharmonic sound, which at different times becomes popular and unpopular. And that those minor chords have an I don't like to use the word negative, but sometimes a detrimental impact on our frequency. A lot of you know, rock stars and things can attest to this. They can say that, you know, they play certain music on stage and you know, riots will kick off in the audiences and stuff, because it really had the power. This really loud music has this psychological, energetic effect on people. Whereas, you know, you know, the other way around, if you're using the major chords, that bright music, it can really lift your mood, lift your energy, make you dance and make you feel good. So, you know, just being aware of the kind of music that you listen to as well, because that has an impact. That really has an impact on your energy levels. Yes, girl. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Claire says, can I watch replay as only just got on here, Holly? Yeah, absolutely, you can watch the replay. No problem at all. Gigi says, let's get a pod. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's on the vision board. So if anyone else, you know, they cost a pretty penny, but I think they will be profoundly beneficial. And I'm well up for, you know, as we enter the new earth, the new world, bringing all this kind of stuff together. I know there's a few of my soul family that are well up for helping that vision to manifest as well. Having, you know, holistic healing centres and wellness centres. So yeah, let's bring a pod to South Wales, guys. Thank you, lovely. Look forward to exploring more on this. Colour, Sound and Vibrations works so well for my son. Yeah, hope to see you very soon, honey. I hope to see you too, sweetheart. But yeah, I'll make sure you see that link. Jadine says, I've sent you a DM. There's something I need to discuss with you, please. Okay, no problem. I'll check it out in a minute. Jenny says, Aura Soma, nice therapy too. Remind me of what that is, Jenny. Yes, girl. Yes. I'm off to bed now. Lovely being here. Thanks so much. Love and light, Robin. You beautiful, beautiful angel. Philip says, thank you, Holly. You are an awesome oracle. Very informative. Thank you. You're very welcome, Philip. Thank you for that. That's a really nice compliment. Night all. Night, love. Love and light. Love and light. Good night. Very powerful vibrations and music. Chakra dancing is great too. Yeah, absolutely. Janine's in. I knew you would be, girl. 100%. 100%. So, yeah. Any questions, guys? Stick them in the comments. If anything occurs to you afterwards, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch. If you don't already, please, please, please can you come over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Holly's Holistic Healing. I really want to start to be able to do live streams and stuff on there, and I just found out that I can't until I've got 1,000 subscribers, and I'm on like 77, so we've got a ways to go. So please come over and subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends if you think that they will find my content beneficial. Add them to this group if they're not already in here. I've got so much in the pipeline that I'm so excited for. June is going to be a bit of a strange month, guys, just from what I've been channeling through, what's been coming down for me from astrology that I've been looking into. It's going to be a weird one. Okay, so if you feel lost, if you feel like you're falling into that fear vibration, if you feel that this is just all too crazy, please come to this group. We're all on this journey together, my friends. We're all here to support one another, and you know, my service is to hold space for you all. And so I'm here to be of service. I'm here to hold that space. I'm here to help you find that love vibration again. So, you know, I'm here for you. We're here for you. This community is here for you. So remember that and come back here when you need it, because June is gonna be bonkers. Full moon eclipse Friday. I'm so excited and a bit like fearful, not fearful, but I'm excited and intrigued to see what's going to unfold as a result of, you know, this eclipse window that we're in for June. So yeah, let me know. Mix of essential oils and colour was that therapy that you mentioned, Jenny. Sounds amazing. Janine says you were incredible, such a true inspiration. I love you. I love you too. Thank you so much. These compliments, you guys are so kind. So beautiful, beautiful souls. So good to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this live stream. Everyone who's catching the replay, I am so grateful for you as well. Don't think that I'm not. I am. Let me know you've been here. Let me know you've watched. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to do that, because I really, really like to know who's checked these out. And so yeah, just take good care. For anyone who's up for it tomorrow morning, if you're free, I'm going to be doing a soul-centered session. We're not going to be doing meditation tomorrow, but we are going to be having some really nice soul chats, so come and check that out. The reason we're not doing meditation tomorrow is because I haven't got childcare, so I'm going to have like one, you know, I'm going to be with you guys, but I'm also, you know, I've got my kids, and I you know, as good as gold as they are, I can't promise no disruptions, as little boys tend to squabble sometimes. Good night, my darling. Good night, my darling. Claire says, exciting times. Can't wait for full moon with you, Holly. I know, I can't wait either. I can't wait for Friday. Good night. Good night. Thank you, Holly. You're a wealth of love and compassion for humanity. Thank you, Jenny. That's so kind of you. Jessica's left a link for a website, anniewilliams.com. Susan, a good night. Good night. Thank you. Much love, much love, much love, much love to you all. I look forward to connecting with you soon, and take good care. Bye for now.